Okay. I know the time that I gave you guys in terms of, or the assignment I gave you guys. So I want to skip number 4, but ask you about 5 and 3, right? Or let's go with 5 and 4. Let's blend it together. All right, a little bit with 3. In 3, do you believe that that do you believe that what King Nebuchadnezzar saw in the furnace was real, or was he high? I'm just asking. It's a party. It's people playing music, and when you hear that beat, you know, sometimes it causes your head to move a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
who knows what Beetlejuice they were drinking or chewing on or whatever. We don't know. I mean, it doesn't say. I'm just asking, is there any evidence that would tell you, nah, I don't believe that they were intoxicated?
Um.
Sonny, hold on. No, she's laughing.
Oh, okay.
Let Sonny let
Go
Sonny
ahead.
answer.
No, I don't. I don't think. I don't think he was. I think it was real. I think it was real for him. It might. I feel like it was real for him just because I think he did believe that there was a higher God than him because he was openly defying.
Okay.
You know, he was openly defying God. So I feel like it was a real thing for him um, to see him in the fire and to see the boys walk out of the fire, you know, untouched. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think he was.
You
I
don't
don't
think
think
it
he
was,
was.
I
Yeah.
find
Kind
that Nebuchadnezzar is like me. I just
of.
want to let you know that. I've been doing the study and I've been paying attention a lot close to his behavior, right? I'm talking about the hot temperedness, very quick to be, upset. That has been me like almost my entire life, you know. Now it's gotten better. Kai may not know, you know, all the different things that goes on in his parents' life, but over the course of my life, you know, I can tell you that I can see instances where I was just not, was very, very hot tempered. But it's getting better. So go ahead. So you what you have to say about King Nebuchadnezzar's disposition, Kai?
Um. Kind of like what Sonny just said, where honestly, a little bit of both. He may have been intoxicated, yes, because as far as I've read in many different versions, no one else said that they saw the fourth man in the fire. Only Nebuchadnezzar did. So he may have been intoxicated, and people just were like, "He's crazy," but he actually saw it. Like what Sonny said, he was openly defying um, God, and I feel like that was just God showing him, "Yeah, I exist." Just him alone, "Yeah, I exist." Just a little glimpse, and everyone else is looking around like, "Oh, this guy's drunk. He doesn't know what he's talking about." That's the way I imagine it. There wasn't much detail given in that
Right.
sense, but I don't see anyone else when I read saying that they saw the fourth person. Only Nebuchadnezzar did. So yeah, I don't think he was hallucinating. He could have been intoxicated, but I don't think he was hallucinating. I think he was actually shown that on purpose.
I think so too, because he calls the people together and said, "Didn't we see?" And it's a group thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't think so either. But I was looking at all the different instruments that were being used, and it came to me and I said, "Sound like a party to me." That sounds like a big, it's not a concert, it's a party. At least that's how I look at it. All right, so Nebuchadnezzar is the main feature in chapter 4. uh Something I want to blend these two stories together. What's up with his behavior and then his son's behavior? The following chapter. Okay. Have you all taken on personalities of your parents? Like, name one thing that your mom, your dad does that you do. That okay, without incriminating yourself.
Okay.
That you do that maybe you shouldn't do. Something small. It doesn't have to be big, tiny something. Maybe they have bad driving habits and you do the same thing. I don't know. This small, like, it's a red light, nobody's coming, and I still take off.
Okay. Let's see. I think so I think I got this one from my dad because my dad taught me to drive, and he would drive. He wouldn't drive like crazy fast, but he would drive a little bit faster than everybody else on the road. And that's the way he taught me. And then he'll have me drive, and he's like, "You're driving too fast." And I'm like, "You told me to drive this fast, so I drive this fast."
Right.
But I probably shouldn't, and he shouldn't, but I do, and he does.
Okay. So, Khai, go ahead.
I really hope this doesn't incriminate me, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay.
I will say and this is both parents. They are both highly intelligent, so intelligent that sometimes they overthink things and jump to conclusions with the slightest bit of information, and I do that all the time. And I try to tell myself not to, because I'm like, you don't have all the information, you don't know anything. But I'm like, no, I know this is right. A lot of times they are right. Sometimes they are wrong. But it's not a good thing to do, because then you can get yourself in a pickle when you do that. And I've gotten myself in multiple pickles doing that. But yeah, I like to jump to conclusions with the slightest bit of information.
Okay. So we have a situation, and the reason why I pose this to you yet, and remember, I always say you don't have to answer any of the questions, is because there's a situation where Nebuchadnezzar loses his mind. Now, if you're not familiar with, it has been said that the word heart used in the Old Testament or even the New Testament, the Hebrew word for that would be mind. And if you read it in English, you can tell that this is not talking about somebody's beating heart. Okay? It's mind. When you say, you have my heart, you don't tell that person they have your literal beating heart. You have peace of my mind. That's what you're saying. So he becomes mad. Okay, he loses his mind. He's eating grass like a cow. Nails grow long because he would humble himself before God. Is that the true account? Is what I'm saying correct?
Uh-uh.
You don't agree with it?
You're saying that he went crazy because he humbled himself before God?
No, he did not.
He went crazy.
Can you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, he did not, right? Because the angel said, right. Tell me the family dynamics. What happened with the son? I mean, I'm just saying. What happened with the son? Because Belshazzar.
Clay called me too at the same time.
Okay, she called me. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna pause right here, and Sani, go ahead with whatever you were saying.
I said I think they went down similar paths, but they didn't necessarily have the same outcome. If that, I feel like I don't feel like I'm making sense.
No, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
you're making sense. To me, you
Okay.
are. They
Yeah,
went
Okay.
you're
down the
making sense.
similar path and they had similar outcomes because both of them were being defiant or
Mhm.
stubborn or not listening on some level, right? Because what did Daniel tell Nebuchadnezzar? Don't you find it odd? Hold on. Don't you guys find it odd that he had all his wise men there with him, but this particular guy that was legendary in the kingdom wasn't at the party and he didn't ask his counsel,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just saying because I want you to understand that what you're saying, in my opinion, Miss Sani, is very right when you say they both went down similar paths. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I don't think he would want Daniel there just because Daniel would tell him the truth, and he doesn't
Mm,
necessarily want to hear what the truth is. He doesn't want to hear about himself, so he wouldn't think his
right.
consult is any use to him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's like, um, that's like the equivalent of, uh, it's the equivalent of like throwing a house party, right? While your parents are out, and you don't wanna let them know in any way, form, or fashion that anything is going on until some crap goes wrong and you can't fix it, and now you have to call them, which is basically
Okay.
what happens.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I dig that.
but um, but yeah, I agree with Sonny saying, you know, he went down a similar path as his father. Um, but I will say in my opinion, this is strictly opinionated. Um, Nebuchadnezzar's defiance as it may be, was not as heavy. Um, Nebuchadnezzar had enough respect for God not to go into the temple and take um, jewelry and cups and such that were used for holy matters and defile them by putting wine and stuff inside of them, and then worshiping um, other false gods while drinking from said cups. Nebuchadnezzar didn't cross that line. Um, Belshazzar, Belshazzar did, and not only did he cross the line, he completely disregarded, in my opinion, every single thing that his father um, understood. So it's the same idea of, you know, Daniel says, you know, this kingdom isn't going to last forever, right? And obviously, after Nebuchadnezzar, his son was old enough to become king. So it lasted, you know, a couple of decades longer. And in that, I feel like Belshazzar became complacent in the fact
Mm,
that, oh,
that's
it's still
different.
here. So it's not going anywhere. You know, my dad must have been crazy. This might have been what was going through his head. You know, my dad must have been crazy. He didn't see what he actually saw. This is Babylon. It's not going nowhere. We can do whatever we want. You know, those cups that they have in the temple? Grab those. We're going to drink some wine out of them. And then,
Okay.
you know, after that was when his demise came. Uh, but
Okay.
I feel like he didn't heed what he knew. It's like the same idea as your parents teaching you something
Mm-hmm.
before you go out into the real world, and you understand it when you're a kid, or you think you understand it when you're a kid, but then you're like, well, this hasn't happened to me yet, so you know,
Hmm.
to heck with
Okay.
it until it does happen to you,
Okay.
and now you know you're caught with your behind out. So
Okay. Okay. So Sani, if if what Kai is saying has merit? Because I think it does a little bit. Um, what lessons can millennials learn from their parents? Let's just say, let me give you two scenarios. There's a parent that is, I guess, drunk all the time when they come home. There's a parent that is, we have all these scenarios, verbally abusive, blah, 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 blah. Parents, depending on where they come from, have a lot of flaws. Okay? Parents have a lot of things that they do that they unintentionally pass on their kids. So how should people in your age group balance the good from the bad? There's a saying that says you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. How do you differentiate what is valuable baby, not valuable bathwater, when everybody on social media has a point of view that they literally either took from, let me use the right word, something other than their brain, the gutter, the sewer, parts of, animals, whatever, and came up with this idea, and it may or may not be true. They like pulling a rabbit out of a. What do you think your generation has to do to decipher what is true and what is a lie? Based on what your parents taught you.
I think based on what your parents taught you is gonna kind of shape how you see things. But I feel like you have to recognize that not everyone has the same upbringing that you had. So that, I guess, that doesn't necessarily make what they're saying false, because that's the way that they were brought up and that's how they think. But I don't think that should mean that you're not receptive to learning how other people could interpret something or see something as wrong or true.
Mm.
But I feel like that's kind of up to you to be open to other opinions, and then based on all the information you have, you can determine what's valuable and what's not valuable for your life, I guess. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Okay. I like it. Because at the end of the day, if you live long enough, you're going to become me, or actually my age, right? And there's a way that we were brought up, and there's a way that you guys have been brought up, and I find that very telling, that because of his known disobedience, and the reason why I'm saying this like that, there's a section in that chapter, I think it's 5, where Daniel says to him, all this information you knew. So as a king's son or daughter, you're normally going to get the best education, the best information as to how you're supposed to conduct yourself or behave. And something went on, maybe like what Khai said, and he was just like, man, whatever, right? That night, according to the script, after Daniel talks to him and says the kingdom is divided, mene mene tekel ubasan, he is saying, according to Daniel, he is saying, and Darius the Mede takes over. So here's a question, starting Sani. Do you think that Nevi's image is true at this point? So far, based on what Daniel told him the dream was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on what Daniel said each section was, right? Head of
Mm-hmm.
gold, silver, bronze, iron. Do you think so far the prophecy, if you will, is accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's accurate. Okay, cool. All right. So let's get to the last one. No, I don't want to skip because there's one I really like. All right. Have you ever been lied on? No. For the purpose of your demise.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because we don't want to skip this one. This is one of my favorite parts. So you've been lied on
Mhm.
in a very short manner. What would have happened to you, or what or what did happen to you because you were lied on? Was it jealousy? Kind of give me a script. Was it anything similar to what Daniel went through when he was in charge of the 120 princesses or princes, excuse me, with Darius? You know, a lie. No matter how it looks, small lie, big lie, little lie, they all become cancerous.
With mine, it was a bit of jealousy, and they it was essentially tried, to make me look like a bad person, but there was enough people around me that knew that was like not true, or didn't necessarily fit my character. So it didn't have any uh like long-term effect uh on me, but
Did you have to pray? Were you like, oh God, help me? Did you say anything where you said Jesus? Did you say Jesus Christ help me not kill somebody? Did you use any words where you were like, oh, I don't want to go to jail? Anything like that?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh goodness. No, man, lying gets people thinking crazy. I'm just saying. And not because when you're lied on. That's what I mean. When you're
Yeah.
lied on, you don't like it. Go ahead, Mr. Kai.
Um, well, this one happened actually out here, but there was it's a story that happened over a course of weeks that I thought was over when I first got rid of it. But long story short, a random lady at the bus stop stopped me and asked for my contact information under the guise of wanting to play video games with me. Anyone who knows me knows I love to play video games. Anyone who knew me at the time knew I had no friends out here. I was fresh out here. So I, gave her my contact information, like, yeah, let's play some games together. And when I get back to my apartment, she starts talking some very ungodly things. Um, and in this juncture in my life, I'm in a relationship, a fresh relationship that's maybe roughly 4 to 6 months along. So I'm not trying to jeopardize that. So, I cut her off. And then she ends up working at the same place that I do 3, 4 months down the road. And she also runs the same bus route that I do. So she starts telling everyone at the job that I came on to her, and everyone at the job knows that I'm in a relationship. So they think that I'm cheating on said person. And yes, some ungodlike thoughts crossed my mind as well. I was not
Okay.
worried about losing my job.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah.
So let's get into the thick of things. God forbid, and thank God that you acted on your emotions or impulses,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this situation is not no jokey manner situation, and your situation isn't either. However, somebody's about to die because it has been made law. And let me ask you this question: what about the story of the lion's den tells you that this story is true, or at least maybe you don't believe the story, but it wasn't by accident. Like he actually went into the lion's den. A seal was put on it. What lets you know that Daniel wasn't lying when he said the Lord sent an angel and shut the lion's mouth? What in that story would tell you that, you're a lady of veterinarian medicine. You know how animals think and eat. He
Yeah.
said the lion's mouths were closed. What would let you know in that story that he told the truth? Yeah, take your time. It's not a problem because, again, you know, a lion's den. Lions plural. Kai,
Yes, sir.
you have a point.
Um, I do. Yes. I was gonna let. Okay. I guess I'll go first. But
No, no, no. Just say what's on your head. We can always
Oh,
edit it. I got so much editing to do. It's not funny.
well, my my way of saying that is that this is a lion's den, and in a lot of different translations of the Bible, it says a den of hungry lions. I'm assuming they don't feed them all the time, just enough that they don't die, but just little enough that whoever goes in there is ripped to pieces within seconds.
Okay.
So
Well,
I couldn't, like, I have a dog.
okay.
If I don't feed my dog, if I forget to feed him one day, the next day he eats. They're salivating,
Okay.
and he eats at least once or twice a day. But the next time he's going to eat, he's salivating like he hasn't eaten in days, and that's
Right.
just a few hours of not eating. Imagine a couple of days of not eating. So I can't
Right.
imagine a hungry lion watching a prime cut of meat sitting in front of it defenseless and not going after it. And
Okay.
not only for just a few hours, for an entire night, at least an
Okay.
8 hour cycle. No. So some people can argue that no, it wasn't an angel. Whatever happened, a den of hungry lions is not leaving a person alive.
All right. All right. So let's stop right there for a second. Let's stop. Pause right there for a second. Sani, go to. I think it's Daniel 6, if you have it available, right? And go down to.
The king was glad for him and said that they should take Daniel out of the den, and he wasn't hurt because he believed in his God. Oh, and they brought the men who accused him, and they put them into the den, and their children and their wives.
Continue.
And the lions had the mastery of them and broke all their bones in pieces, and ever they came out the bottom of the den.
All right. Thank you. Just for the record, depending on the version, before they even hit the bottom, they got torn up. Just in case you thought that the angel shutting the lion's mouth wasn't a real thing. All right. So I'm gonna make this quick. We're down to the last question. Um, we're not going to jump into 100%, but do you see any similarities between the information in 7 and Nebi's image, King Nebuchadnezzar's image? Is there any similarities? What information you would say that is similar to the image that you read or you saw? You know, one thing that you saw that is similar to the image.
Like I guess kind of how they described the animals in like a succession, like
Hmm?
how they did with the statue and the different metals and stuff as it went down.
I appreciate you more than you know. And future doctor. Go ahead, Sir Kai. No, that
Oh,
works. No, no, you answered the question. I'll prolong it because it is a thick, like I said, thick chapter. So what did you see that's similar to the
um,
image?
well, in the same way the image, each part is a different metal, and then you get to the feet, and it's two mixtures of two different substances. Um, like each beast was like very different in their own sense,
Mm-hmm.
but they all kind of ruled together. Not together in the sense that they ruled in cohesion, but they each roamed the earth freely.
Okay.
It wasn't just one beast
Okay.
roaming the earth. Um, that's the same way that the clay and the iron were mixed. You know.
Yeah. So you're saying they ruled in succession. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I will not deliberate this any longer. I thought you guys would have been the perfect young people to have a point, and I appreciate you giving me your time. All right. Before we leave, I always end in a certain manner. All right. So now may the God of peace that brought again from the dead our Lord Jesus, that great shepherd of sheep, to the blood of the everlasting covenant, make you perfect in every good work, to do his will, working in you that which is pleasing in his sight, through Jesus Christ, to whom be glory and honor forever and ever. Amen. Oh, by the way, that's in Hebrews, if you're not sure where I got that from. All right. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thankful to the guests for being here today. Uh, like and subscribe. I mean, I don't say it. This is the second time I'm saying it in 2 shows. Like and subscribe, please.
And
It
hit that
helps the
notification bell.
the algorithms and all that good stuff that YouTube has. And at some are giving me pennies. And those pennies go to help uh relief for women in Alabama, United States Virgin Islands relief, Puerto Rico, and West Indies, Trinidad, and Tobago. I've heard a story, and I don't care for the story, that a lady had to use, um, you know, hand wipes, paper towels in a bathroom so that she could stop her monthly cycle. Not in the United States. We could do better. And so I have this desire to provide that relief. At the same time, letting you know that Jesus is coming again. His signs are everywhere.